Welcome to another session of Learn with Veer Sagar. In these sessions, in these talks, we will continue to discuss, understand various management requirements, management issues, business requirements, business issues, behavioral requirements, behavioral issues, so that we become better persons and definitely better managers. Helps you to make better decisions. And as part of this, as your own growth, one of the talks I had given was on delegation. People have come back to me and with the question, does delegation actually work? He says, I have tried delegation and a lot of times I have run into trouble because the person did not deliver on time and the customer got very upset. Now, this raises two important issues of delegation, and I'll walk you through them. A, if the customer has found out before you that a delivery is not going to take place, then you have a major problem. You have not delegated the job, you have abdicated. You have passed on the thing, said, you do it, I don't want to know. If you can do it, great. If you can't do it, that's your problem. It doesn't work like that. First thing you have to know is, for delegation, the first rule of delegation is you delegate, but you don't abdicate. And when by delegation it means you have enough feedback mechanism, enough reporting structure, such that you are warned of any problems ahead. Any delivery gets delayed, any problem occurs, any roadblock happens, then you get a warning. You get a bell ringing somewhere which says, watch it, this is not going well, it requires an intervention. So first you have to have that rule. Then discuss with the person. Intervention does not mean you take over the job and say, okay, you're not doing it well, you're going to mess it up, you're going to be late, I will do it for you. No. Intervention means you call the person and say, okay, let's review the status. And then find out what's happening, why is he missing a deadline, and what is he going to do, or is he or she going to do to cover. Back, when you say feedback, when you say watch, it does not mean breathe down his back, breathe down his shoulder. Don't tell him, I had a boss once who said, you have full authority and responsibility, but just run it by me. Basically saying, before you do anything, talk to me. You need my authority, my permission. That's not delegation. Right? So you delegate to the person. You don't breathe down his back. Don't ask him to every 15 minutes, now what's happened. Have a method of feedback, a feedback loop, and a feedback process. The feedback could be based on activity. It could be based on a project. It could be based on a particular item. It depends on the project, how you want the feedback. But a feedback you must have. And you must make sure that action is taken, the feedback is actionable, and action is taken every time. The other rule of delegation is you've got to train. You can't call a guy and say, right, okay, I am delegating this to you, you are responsible, go and do it. That's disaster. Person will learn, smart guy will learn, he may take time, and during that period, he may cause havoc. So the second rule of delegation is train. Train the person. So you get the person, train the person, handhold the person for some time, right? And make sure that he or she is learning and following. Once the person is learned, then slowly let go. Slowly let go. And let the person have enough space to be able to deliver on her own, his own or her own. So the second important person is to be able to train the person. The third rule is one on selection. The person who is being given the job, to whom you are delegating the job, should be capable of taking the delegation, should be capable of doing the job. So make sure you select a person who can sort of take over from you. I said when I select a team, the first thing I look at a person is, can he or she take over from me? If he or she can't take over from me, then I don't want that person in the team. Because then what is the value that the person is bringing? So make sure that the person you're delegating to is capable of taking the delegation. A lot of people are not capable of absorbing delegation. So your rules are now going in the right direction. First, select a person to whom you want to delegate. Right? And that person should be capable of absorbing authority, of absorbing power, and making use of it and delivering. The second thing is, having selected the person, train the person. Hold his or her hand, take him through the process. Monitor, watch, and slowly start withdrawing. Slowly, as the person starts picking up, start withdrawing, and let that person set his or her own pace and the way they like to do it. The way you like to do it may be quite different from the way another person likes to do it, as long as you're both ending where we are supposed to end. So let him draw his own. And third thing, have a feedback loop, a mechanism which tells you what's happening, where it's gone, and rings bells. Because if bells ring and sufficiently in advance, you can catch it, you can correct it, you can train, you can sit back and understand why did this happen, what went wrong, and what do we need to do to fix the process so that this does not happen again. And you should go in such a way that over a period, right, it becomes automatic. And this works. Now, the answer to the question first, which I tried to answer, yes, it works. And I can tell you from my own experience at various levels. As a manager, right, I have picked people and passed on to them, because then I would get time, and I will cover about this more in another session, maybe the next session, and move up. As a CEO, when I wanted to start in electronics, a brand new business, right, I didn't want to add a new staff because of the cost. So I picked up a person from within who I thought had sufficient interest, knowledge, and time to be able to do this. Totally unsuited for this, not at all trained for this. But he had the right ingredients, took him, trained him, held his hands, let him do, and today he does such a great job. I could have never done that. So it works. And by him doing the job that he is doing, he has relieved me of so much pressure and released so much of my time that I'm able to do other things. So please learn, if for your own growth, learn to delegate, but delegate with controls. Right? Don't abdicate, because ultimately you are responsible for the delivery. And never think of telling the customer or telling somebody, your boss, that the delivery did not take place because the subordinate to whom you had delegated did not deliver. It's with Veer Sagar saying, thank you very much. Please subscribe, please like, and come back again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.